should you summon Hero Fist Absolute Fighters of Fate? Ladies and gentlemen, Philia and Aluze, or how he is called on global, Aluze, is finally here on the global side of the game. These guys have been delayed for so long. I'm pretty sure both these guys are from Sacred Union. Correct me if I'm wrong about that. And they're finally here on global. And are they broken? Are they good? You know, what's the vibe with them? We're going to be doing the usual she just summoned stuff in this video. You guys already know. This banner is actually seeming to be pretty unique in the sense that Philia and Aluze may be a banner with only 2 characters. Yes, I know. I think the last time they did this was a long time ago. I feel like they've done this before, but at least as far as the step up banner goes, it's only going to be these 2 units from what it seems like. The only units featuring on the banner is, of course, Philia and Aluze. And if you don't know what either of these units do, a lot of people are hyped for Philia and a lot of people are hyped for Aluze, but let me tell you what both of them do, a very quick summary of them. Philia is 100% defense and 100% status element resistance up to your entire party. Extremely good buffs right there. Very defensive buffs, you know, not really too many offensive buffs going on here, but very good defensively. And then on top of that, to add to her defensive stuff, she's also able to put a damage barrier on everyone that's 3,500, which is pretty good, but she's only able to increase her own art gauge, which is kind of like trash in that regard. She gets 30 arts back, but you get a barrier on everyone. It's a weaker version of like Sistina's true art, but technically a little bit stronger because it also gives you a little bit of healing. The only thing I say with Philia is that I really don't like the slots, man. The kit itself isn't too bad in my opinion. I think this kit's gonna have some use in different types of content coming out later on down the line. The slots are really hurting me though. I really wish that was a 4-star support, but it's a 4-star defense. The 5-star heal is kind of like whatever in my opinion. But I will say this, is that if you don't have a Serpa or you don't have, let's say like Rimuru, or you have trouble constantly having like status cleanses and stuff like that, well, having a unit like this that is able to buff up your status element resistance to 100% is going to be really nice for you. You don't even need to worry about cleansing. Why even worry about cleansing whenever you are just resistant to it by default? So yeah, I can definitely see the hype around Philia personally. Next is going to be Aluze, and Aluze, to put it simple, this man is a 100% crit buffer, but specifically for light units. He's also able to increase everybody's damage by 40%. He also has a very unique art where he's able to increase the damage based on the number of enemies that are on the field. Aluze's slots aren't anything too crazy with the 5-star physical, 5-star magic, and 4-star support. Also, his passives are kind of whatever. But a lot of people are hyped for this guy for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons being that you are able to use this guy alongside Saitama, get 100% crit buff plus damage up, so you can have someone else on your team for nuking support. But me personally, I don't really see the hype in that because you can already do that with Saitama as long as you run somebody on the team with letter bag. Saitama can already crit, so you know that synergy, I can see it. But if you already was doing it, I don't think it's gonna be too much better. Of course, it's the same thing goes for pretty much any type of light nuker. Like for example, if you're talking about New Year's Malim, it's kind of like the same thing. I think the problem with Aluze though is that it's gonna be really hard to fit him onto a team that is mainly of light nukers or just mainly like a light oriented team. Of course, if you don't put him on a light-oriented team, he's not going to give the team the 100% crit rate, but he will get everybody that 40% damage buff, which is still pretty solid, but of course, we have better damage buffs in the game, and he's not the be-all, end-all, he's alright at best, but hey man, I can see some unique synergies coming out with him. Like the Saitama comp would be cool with him, but to me, it's like Saitama could already crit with a use of an equipment, so it's not really like, oh my god, Saitama can now crit, you know what I mean? It's already been in the game. If it was like that, I feel like I'd be a little bit more excited, but I think it's definitely going to be an okay unit until you can get better nuker units, I guess is the best way to put it. And even if you're not doing that, then he's still a really good unit just to use. If you're mainly using a light team, then he's going to be able to give you that 100% crit buff, which is really solid. And that's actually it for how I feel about the units and everything. I made another video too talking about them a little bit more if you want to see that. It'll be popping up on your screen in the card in the top right. But real quick, before we get into the verdict and everything, I quickly want to talk about the step up summon that is here. And of course, this only really goes for whales or paying players, dolphins, whatever you want to call yourself. But this upcoming step up summon, I don't think is bad. This thing is a guaranteed one of these units at the final step. Now, I will say that if there's only these 2 units on the entire banner, the entire way through, because of course things could change because I'm recording this at 1:33 a.m. on the 23rd. They could add units to the banner. The fact is that it's only 2 of these guys on the banner, and then at step 4 you're guaranteed either one of them. I think it's actually not a bad deal if you actually want to go for these units. So it's maybe something that you might want to consider if you are a little bit more on the paying side, you know, you don't mind spending some money. Whenever these banners come around, I always say that if you're a paying player, always consider them, because it's like one of the only times in GS where they actually guarantee you something. So just throw that in there just to give everybody a heads up, because I really think the step up banner isn't half bad. Now moving on to the verdict. Ladies and gentlemen, here's what I have to say about this Philia and Aluze banner, okay? Philia, to me, is a really okay unit at best. Yes, she has 100% defense up. Yes, she has 100% status element resistance. But I feel like you don't always need those things, especially the defense up. The status element resistance definitely comes into play a lot whenever you're doing stuff like Ultra Luck trials, the Ultra Relic trials that are now here, different type of events and everything. That comes in a little bit more play. I don't think the 100% defense up is like the be-all, end-all thing, because some people are like, oh my god, that's insane. But that's already been in the game before. Some people were saying she's the first unit with 100% defense up, and I was like, y'all forget a Serpa exists? Serpa gives you 100% defense up and Artisan on a normal art. Granted, a Serpa is extremely limited being a crossover unit, but it isn't like the first time it's been in the game. And to me personally, the way how I see GS and defense as like a whole, I think damage mitigation is a lot more valuable than just defense. Like increasing your defense is definitely nice. It's definitely going to make you a little bit more tankier. But I think in the long run, of course, damage mitigation is just going to be by far the best thing to do. So that's why I really don't get too hyped whenever I see a defense up passive on a unit or a defense up true art or something. Because I feel like it really doesn't make too much of a difference. Like at the end of the day, you're still going to want insanely high damage resist whenever you go against any type of in-game boss. If you're new to the game, I would say that this banner really isn't too good for you, because we have two really good banners here, one being of course Kill a Kill, and then of course the Blood Knight banner that is currently here as well. So this banner doesn't really vibe with me too much, especially if you're brand new to the game, because I think both these units are kind of niche and very specific for what they have, especially Aluze or Aluze, whatever you want to call them, that I feel like you'd be better off investing in of course the KOB banner and of course the Kill a Kill banner if you're brand new to the game. If you've been playing the game for a while and you're free to play, I think this banner is maybe a one and done if you want to try to go for Philia. If you don't want to try to go for Philia, just save, because in the long run, it's really not going to be the biggest thing. And if you're a whale or a veteran, if you're a veteran, I think it's up to you. You know what you're getting yourself into more than likely if you're dealing with Philia. If you're dealing with that 100% defense up, plus the status element resistance, if you feel like you need that, if you feel like that will help you so much in terms of content, then hey man, go on ahead and do it. Nothing stopping you. Same thing with Aluze. If you feel like Aluze would be really good for certain light teams that you have in mind, hey man, go on ahead. Nothing stopping you. If you're a whale on this banner, I think it's probably one of the best times to be a whale, just because you're guaranteed something at the 4th step. So if you want to try to go for it, hey man, do you, go for him. If you don't, I think it's a skip, and it really won't hurt you too bad if you decide to skip this banner. Another thing that I want to mention too about this is that if you want to go a little bit more in on this banner, I think that you have a little bit more leeway, because we currently have the $3 million celebration going on, where we're getting the 180 crystals over the course of the next month. So you're going to be able to have a lot of crystals, and even doing this multi really won't hurt you in the long run, because of course you're just going to get those crystals back. But at the same time too, I also want to inform all you guys that I think that if you're saving specifically for Phantom Snipers like Haruto, Miranda, stuff like that, you may want to skip this banner and just save up all your resources, because we don't know when that's coming. That could be dropping literally next week. So we have to be a little bit lenient with that, kind of keep that in mind, because literally that's what GS will do. It doesn't matter when it's supposed to come out. If GS wants to drop it, guess what? That baby's dropping. So overall, my verdict with this banner is I think majority of people skip, including myself. Like Philia, I think is a unit that I kind of want to use, but at the same time, I don't want to go super hard up for her. With the step up banner, it's a little bit more tempting, because like, I'm at least guaranteed something on the 4th step, but I think I'm just going to hold out on this one. I'm not going to go for it. And then I'm going to be skipping, and I think a lot of people are going to be overall skipping this banner, and I don't think you're going to be losing too much in terms of viability and different comps and everything. If you don't have a character that can cleanse, then I think Philia is a little bit more appealing to you, but if you have a character that cleanses, then I don't think you really need Philia that much. Of course, that's just my opinion though. Tell me down below what you guys are going to be doing. Like I said, for me, myself, I am going to be skipping this banner. You are going to be summoning on this banner tomorrow, later tonight, whenever you're watching this video. I wish you the best of luck, my friends. I heard if you hit the like button, you get +1 like. Just saying, it is a rumor. It is a rumor. Has not been confirmed or myth busted yet. But guys, thank you all for coming out again. Thank you guys for being so awesome recently. Tons of support on the channel, tons of love. Can't thank you guys enough. We have some crazy stuff coming out over the next week that I can't wait to show to you guys. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and last but not least, you guys already know, don't forget to drink water.